Blessings to everybody. Hey, listen, go ahead and invite your followers. This is going to be it's going to be a very quick scope. If I'm on here 10 minutes, I've probably been on here 10 minutes too long. But go ahead and invite your followers. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. Hopefully you're having an awesome day. What is today? Wednesday, by the way. Yeah, today is Wednesday. Hopefully you're having an awesome Wednesday. It's just a great day to be alive. Just a great time to be alive. Listen. Go ahead and invite your followers. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and I'll get into what it is I have purposed to get into. And of course, for those of you in whom are already here, for those of you in whom have already tapped in, hey, Sister Peoples, blessings to you. For those of you in whom are already tapped in and you've already chimed in, you would have, of course, already have seen the title. And the title of this scope is simply check your motive. Check your motive. Can somebody type that in for me? Can someone type that in for me very quickly? And I'm gonna get right into this scope. Check your motive. Check your motive. I heard the Spirit of the Lord say something to me earlier that caused me to kind of ponder some things, that caused me to think about some things, that caused me to kind of look over some things, that caused me to rehearse some things. Blessings to you. I appreciate you. To the woman of God who says, I love what God is doing through you. I appreciate you. Thank you. That caused me to, heard something earlier that caused me to kind of rehearse some things and to look over things. But the Lord said something to me earlier today. This was about maybe 7:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord say to me, He said, my people's frustration is not valid. Hey there, Minister to Jesus, blessings to you. My people's frustration is not valid. And when I heard the Lord say, my people's frustration is not valid, in my spirit, I heard, check your motives. Check your motives. Because here's reality. Very short scope. I won't be here long. People are getting frustrated with God. People are getting frustrated with ministry. People are getting frustrated with Christianity because they're connected to God for all the wrong reasons. People are getting frustrated with their walk with God because they're seeking God for all the wrong reasons. They are getting frustrated with the church because, watch this now, their motives for doing what they do are contaminated. And here's a question for you. For those of you that are here live with me, blessings to you. For those in whom will catch the replay, thank God for you. So appreciate you. So appreciate you and celebrate you. But here's a question. And once again, I won't be here long. Here's a question for you. What is your motive for seeking God? What is your motive for serving God? Do you genuinely love God? Or are you just trying to manipulate God? What's your motive? And I don't want you to answer this. This is not something for you to answer on scope. Yeah, this is not something for you to type in for everybody to see. But I want you to, after this scope would have consummated, after it is ended, I want you to take a personal self-assessment and be as honest and be as genuine and be as scientific and be as transparent, be as real, be as pure as you can be, and ask yourself the question, what's my motive for really serving God? What's my motive? What's my motive for really connecting with God? Ask yourself the question, do I genuinely love God? Or am I just trying to manipulate God for my own selfish gain? And here's a harsh reality. Here's a harsh reality that many of you all are not going to want to face, because it's a harsh reality, it's a painful reality, but yet it's a real reality. Many people, under the sound of my voice, don't really love him. Reality is this: you're only trying to manipulate him for selfish gain. You don't really love him. You're only trying to manipulate him for selfish gain. And please hear me when I say this. I am not at all here trying to pass judgment in reference to who genuinely loves him and who's trying to manipulate him just for the sake of selfish gain. That's not my place. I'm not trying to judge. I'm not here to judge. But I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself the question, do I really love him? Or am I really seeking him to manipulate him for some selfish gain? Because we're living in a day and time whereby people are becoming frustrated with God. They're becoming frustrated with Christianity. They're becoming frustrated with the church. Because they are serving God, but they're only serving God for selfish gain. Your reason for loving him, your reason for serving him should not be to live in an expensive house. Your reason for serving him should not be to drive a nice car. Your reason for serving him should not be to have an overflow of finances in your bank account. That's not why we love him. That's not why we serve him. That's not why we're, because here's reality. Here's reality. You don't have to have a relationship with God to drive a nice car. I know a whole lot of folk that don't have a relationship with God and are driving nice cars. You don't have to have a relationship with God to live in a nice house. I know a whole lot of folk living in nice houses that don't have a relationship with God. You don't have to have a relationship with God to have a whole lot of money in your bank account. I know a whole lot of folk with a whole lot of money in their bank accounts that don't have a relationship with God. So I've got to get to the place in my walk with God, and this is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. This is only for the mature in heart, because reality is this: some folk don't want to hear this because it's painful. Because what I'm talking about makes you check yourself. I ain't talking about checking your neighbor. I'm talking about checking yourself. I ain't talking about checking the person to the left of you. I'm talking about checking yourself. I'm not talking about checking the person to the right of you. I'm talking about checking you. I ain't talking about checking the person in front of you and behind you. I'm talking about checking yourself. This is not for everybody. It is only for the mature in heart, because something like this causes you to take an internal look and check yourself in relation to why am I really serving? And many of us are frustrated with God because we ain't driving the car we desire to drive yet. We're frustrated with the church because we're not living in the house that we desire to live in. Don't want to serve no more. Don't want to read the word of God no more. Don't want to pray no more. Don't want to give tithes anymore. Don't want to sow no more because we don't have the money in our bank accounts that we thought we would have had by now. And we are literally checking out. We're checking out. We don't want to pray no more. We don't want to seek God anymore. We don't want to go to church anymore. Because we've set ourselves up. We've set ourselves up for something that God never intended. This is not just about, this relationship with God is not just about manipulating him for selfish gain. Some of us need to check ourselves because, as I said before, you don't really love God. You're only trying to manipulate God for selfish gain. That is not why you have a relationship with God. If the only thing that your relationship with God amounts to are external material possessions, you're in a bad place. If the only thing your relationship with God amounts to is cars and houses and money and position and power and prestige and popularity, you're in a sad place. Because that's not the purpose why we seek him. That's not the purpose why we love him. That's not the purpose why we desire to establish a relationship with him. Once again, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge you. But I am here to motivate you to take an introspective look within yourself and ask yourself the question, why do I desire to have a relationship with him? Why do I love him? Why do I serve him? What's my motive? What's my motive? What's my motive? What's my motive? And I understand that, God will open doors for you to drive the car of your dreams. God will open doors for you to live in the house of your dreams. God will open doors to where you'll have enough bank and enough bag that you can pay your bills and everybody else's. God will do that. But my thing is this: do not allow that to become the motive by which you seek him. Do not allow that to become the motive by which you love him. Do not allow that to become the motive by which you serve him. Do not allow that to become the motive by which you desire to establish a relationship with him. Check your motives. Check your motives. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with that. And I want you to think about that. Why do you desire to establish a relationship with him? Do you genuinely love him? Do you genuinely love him? Or are you just trying to manipulate him for selfish, external, material gains? Think about it. I'm out. Blessings to you all. And I love you with my spirit. Bye-bye.